far and wide. Breathe real low, yeah, take it in your stride.
Good evening, Vixens family, and welcome to Vixens Live. My name's Pete Laser. Once again, a pleasure to be your host for Vixens Live on a Thursday night. Trust you're all staying safe. Vixens Live proudly brought to you every Thursday night live at 7 o'clock on Facebook and YouTube. Tonight, proudly brought to you by our friends at Flight Centre, putting you back in the travel game. Every week on Vixens Live, I have a special co-host, and this week is no exception. We've had the biggest names, and we're adding another one to the mix right here. Member of our inaugural 2008 Melbourne Vixens team, winning the MVP that year. Played 45 games for the Vixens, 29 for the Diamonds, and she joins us here. It is a mid-court sensation in Natasha Chocolate. Tash, great to have you on Vixens Live.
Oh, thanks very much, Pete. It's great to see you, and it's great to be here.
One of our mid-court sensations, the inaugural MVP winner. Of course, you won a silver medal at the World Champs in 2003. You almost achieved it all when it came to netball. Premierships with the Phoenix, of course, before that. What are some of your favourite memories of your netball career?
It was a long career, and it was a long time ago, so I've just got to go back into the memory bank. I think, as most players would say, winning premierships is probably one of the fondest memories. The friendships you make, probably the best things that you remember about it. You tend to just remember those highlights. But I think one thing in particular is the year leading up to winning that premiership. There's just such a special feeling within the group. I don't want to speak too early, but are we seeing that at the moment with the Vixens? So I think it would be a very exciting year that we're looking at right now.
Tash, as a fan, we don't have to take it one game at a time. We can take it one season at a time. That's absolutely fine. You're our inaugural MVP in 2008. There were mixed feelings when the Vixens came about from the Phoenix and the Kestrels, but you wore the dress with pride. Looking back, did you ever think it was going to become as big as it is and still growing now, and such passionate Vixens fans who have all come together?
Yeah, it's really fantastic. It was an amalgamation of the two Melbourne sides at the time, and both teams were very passionate. So it was about combining that passion, and I think we did it really well. I mean, our first year was tough. You know, we were trying to make teammates with people we'd played with in the past, but it just all came together in 2009, and it never looked back since then.
It was a good celebration after 2009. Of course, you went over and played with Southern Steel, of course, in New Zealand, and retired in 2011. But you've certainly been busy since then. You're in the family home at the moment. Tell us a little bit about the family that's come together over the last few years.
Yes, certainly. I've been creating tiny little humans like every other past player, probably. I'm on maternity leave at the moment from my job at Dexus. But yes, so I'm at home and trying to close the door while my husband's getting them to bed, screaming 4-year-old and 8-month-old.
Lockdown is no doubt fun for you. Well, it's great to have you here on Vixens Live. Let's get into the show. Wonderful to have another sensational past player and a legend of a person in Natasha Chocolate joining us for the entirety of Vixens Live. Let's get into it. First up, let's look at the last two matches. There's been 2 games since our last Vixens Live episode. Round 8 saw the Vixens take on the Swifts. something that you did, Tash, plenty of times against the Swifts. This was a top-of-the-table clash, an amazing match. It was a great one to watch. We were right down to the wire. We won 63-60. Joe Weston named the Nissan Player of the Match. MJ shooting at 92% efficiency. That is unbelievable. Tash, I don't know how much you caught of the game. I watched it on Saturday. It was unbelievable. It was to and fro. We never really felt like we were home. How did you feel taking on the old arch rival in the Swifts?
I was feeling quite confident sitting at home watching it. It was a cracking game, actually. One of the take home things I watched from that game was the ball speed that the Vixens had. They really had some great ball speed. It was moving down the court, and it really opened up that attacking end, and it made it look easy feeding the shooters. So I think that was probably one thing I took away from that game, and just how strong and confident the girls looked. Obviously, with the shooting percentages, there's nothing better than the shooters shooting at 92%, apart from obviously 100%, but that is a really, really good percentage to have. And I think the confidence and the maturity of the performance was something that really stood out as well.
I reckon that ball movement, we've talked about it a little bit on Vixens Live over the last few weeks. It certainly is something that you notice each and every week. When the Vixens are on, they are on, and it's great to watch a top-of-the-table clash, and, of course, getting one hand on the Sergeant McGuinness Trophy for 2020. There was another game, of course. We took on the Giants, and that was Tuesday night to kick off round 9. Another dominant performance from our Vixens, taking out our 8th win from 9 matches, 73-53. Liz Watson taking out Nissan Player of the Match, 33 goal assists and 48 feeds. Now, there is no better time than to have one of the all-time great centres with us. Tash Chocolate, talk us through what an amazing performance. Listen, maybe you've been down just a little bit from a really lofty standards in the previous game or two, but there's nothing wrong with the game on Tuesday night.
No, absolutely not. I think what we need to remember is that it was a very impressive performance from the Vixens. The Giants are a really good side. They are a very, very good side, and they have very accurate shooters. And I just think that that just shows how dominant the performance was from the Vixens. It was really tight there in that first half, but there was just something different about it. They showed a maturity, and I think Emily Mannix really took control in that second half. She was another standout for me. She just really dominated and controlled that defence end, and it was just a really good performance. And it was really nice to see that mix up between the wing defence and goal defence as well. That just changed things up a bit, and I think it sort of threw them off as well.
We've had a lot of shooters and defenders on our show so far, but as a mid-court sensation, talk us through 2 games, Saturday against in the top-of-the-table clash, then backing up on Tuesday night. And I know you and I have spoken about this in the past. During your playing days, you found it really tough to switch off and go to sleep. How would you go with 2 games in 3 or 4 days? Physically, you could probably do it, but there's the mental side as well, isn't there?
Yeah, the mental side would be really hard at the moment. You know, you say they've had 2 really tough games in the last couple of days, but this has been back to back to back to back. You've never had a season like this before. You have test series when you're playing for Australia against New Zealand, where you often back up with games. But again, that's only 3 games. So just to see this performance and how the girls are holding themselves at the moment is just so impressive. They've probably had, both Melbourne teams have both had probably the most disrupted pre-season. They hadn't really seen each other and trained together until they actually got out of the hub when they travelled. So the fact that they probably had the least court preparation as a team than any of the other clubs. So I've got full of admiration for them.
Yeah, it's been a great performance. In fact, let's celebrate. At the moment, this is one of our favourite segments. Let's take a look at the ladder, because the Vixens have been absolutely flying so far. And now, after that win against the Swifts, and of course, adding to that with the Giants win, 8-1 after 9 rounds, sitting a game clear and percentage clear. And whilst we're a game clear, that's fantastic. A strong percentage is also a really good indicator, isn't it, Tash, about how strong all over the court the Vixens are playing.
Yeah, definitely. That percentage looks really good. The shooters have been impressive, and I think one of the things is seeing how the substitutions work this year has been really great, but they just seem to be doing it so seamlessly through that shooting circle. you know, they can throw on any combination. It seems to be working for them at the moment, which is fabulous.
Well, I saw you for a few seasons. I never saw you sit on the bench once. So I'm not sure how you would have gone with rolling substitutions, but it is working in the Vixens' favour in 2020. It's time now for our weekly segment. It's a quick fire segment. We like to find out a little bit more about our Melbourne Vixens players, and we thought, what better time to catch up with our games record holder and birthday girl? It is one of our senior Vixens. Happy birthday. Let's find out about Tegan Philip.
Tegan, hello.
Hi.
Walk me through your days right now. What have you been up to?
Well, get up and have breakfast and normally go to training at some point.
Nice.
Do a bit of recovery, ice bars, pool once we get back. Uni, got some assignments due, so doing some study.
All the good things.
And then it's about dinner time.
So do you remember the first professional game you played?
I do. It was about the last 3 minutes and Troll McMahon called time out. Next minute, they look at me.
On the court.
I'm going. And the lights were super bright and I just had to tell myself what to do, like go for the centre pass,
Shoot.
Run into the circle. Katie Thwaites was goal shooter and she said, if there's a penalty, you're taking it. And I was like, oh, that's okay. What did she do? Put it down, took it, shot it.
Very nice. Well, if you were a guest star in any TV show, what would it be?
Yes, I reckon Suits.
Oh, which character?
Can I play myself?
Oh, I guess so.
Tegan Philip.
Tegan
The
Philip in
lawyer.
Suits. You don't want to be Jessica Pearson, or you want to be Donna? Donna.
100%
Signature
Donna.
red hair
Such a
too.
boss, yeah. I'm already halfway there.
What is one thing you'd like to master?
I would like to master really cool birthday cakes.
Ooh,
Yep.
what type? Any specific flavour?
Nah.
Just all
Like
of the
an
above.
array. Yeah.
The array, yeah,
And
that's.
decorating.
Oh
birthday
yeah,
cakes.
like Hamish Blake does for his kids. Yes,
Yes.
that'd be nice. All right, you're gonna have to show me your dance moves. But what is the one song that makes you dance out of them all?
J-Lo, Get Right.
Yeah, that is a banger. Ugh. What do you love most about the town you grew up in? Geelong, right?
Well, technically Anglesea,
Ah.
and I love that it's a little seaside town right near the beach and it's a beautiful local community.
Second last question. What is your favourite book?
Ooh, my favourite book would be... Oh, that's a good one.
The Bible.
Yes, that is my favourite book.
Let's go with that.
Let's go. The Bible.
Looking 10 years into the future, where would you like to be?
10 years. I
It's
would
2030.
Yeah. Whoa. I would like to be living in our new house, which won't be new by then. It'll be 10 years old, with my husband and maybe some little kitties.
Very nice. Well, thanks for taking me through a few questions, Teags.
Thank you, Joe.
Happy birthday, Mrs. Phillip. Pivoting on your travel plans, Flight Centre puts you back in the travel game with fee-free, flexible holidays and refundable deposits. Book with Flex, the real MVP. Well, before we get stuck into the two games we're going to have a look at, we've got a very special guest who's joining us. Tash, you'd be pleased. Well, I was going to say another mid-quarter, but plays all over the court at the moment. Was a Vixens training partner, went to the Swiss for a couple of years, and we thought she's pretty good. Let's get her back. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a very warm welcome to Vixens Live to Kate Eddy. Kate, welcome to Vixens Live. Great to have you.
Thanks for having me, guys. I'm so happy to be here. I thought I was going to co-host today, but unfortunately I'm just a special guest.
You just keep playing, and doing as well as you're doing, and you just never know. Now, Kate, we did have a little chat earlier on, and I said, whilst the Vixens are winning and you're in the side, everyone is just loving everything about you and where you're playing and what you're doing. Tell us something about you that our Vixens family who are watching Vixens Live don't know. What's something that we don't really know about you?
I've realised that I'm kind of a bit of a nana. I've been going to sleep at like 9:30 p.m. while I've been up here, and like Taylor, honey, who's my roommate, she kind of like, I'm like, Taylor, you tired? And she's like, no, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go to sleep. So I'm kind of a bit of a nana at the moment. Don't know whether it's just because I'm up here and I'm tired, but that's a little bit about me. But I'll tell you a bit about Taylor. I hate talking about myself, so I'll talk about somebody else. But Taylor, honey, she'll probably say that she can't cook because she can't, but she's trying to make me put on weight or something, because cooking pasta the other day, she put the whole packet in, which served 5. So she's cooking for 5 people when there's only 2 of us in the room, and she's just all over the shop when she cooks things. She cooks pasta and the garlic bread's ready 15 minutes before the pasta and the sauce is ready. But yeah, she's great. She's great in company, and I love having Tay as my roommate up here in sunny Brisbane.
If only she had her mum there, would you be able to help her? Tash, no doubt you've been impressed with Kate coming in and seamlessly coming into the Vixens lineup. You would be no doubt impressed having Kate wearing the Vixens dress and also been running around in the mid-court and also at goal defence too.
Yes. Yeah, it's been very exciting just to watch you play this year. I noticed you've been switching up a little bit between the wing defence and goal defence. Do you have a preference between either of the positions, or...?
I think growing up, I always played goal defence, and then it wasn't more until I probably moved up to Sydney, and then I kind of had to grow into that position at wing defence because there wasn't really an opportunity for me at goal defence. I always will love goal defence, and I think myself personally, I feel more comfortable being there because it's what I've grown up playing. But I'm loving wing defence and the challenges that I have, playing against some of the best wing attacks, and they're really quick, and sometimes it just makes me think more outside of the box. And it's so great having Joey and Kate, on the transverse line with me. It just makes my job a lot easier at wing defence.
Good one. We love watching you play wing defence, so you've slotted in there very seamlessly. Safe to say it's a bit of a strange year this year for you guys. How do you find spending so much time away from your family and your friends, and how are you coping with hub life?
Well, because I guess I was in Sydney for 2 years, I'm actually I feel like this has been my life for the past 2 years anyway, being away from home and things like that. So I do miss my family, my friends, obviously, but I think I am kind of used to it, and I have grown up a lot. When I did move up to Sydney, I had to do a lot of things for myself. So I think personally I am okay, and it's great that we're winning and everything like that as well. And I just love that I get to hang out with my friends 24/7. I don't know if they're going to love me, but I love getting to hang out with them all the time. So it's great for me, and I'm sorry to everybody else, but I'm loving it.
That's awesome.
What was the deciding factor in coming back to the Vixens? Obviously, a training partner a couple of years ago, got an opportunity with the Swifts. What was the deciding factor coming back and playing under Simone McInnes and playing for the Vixens?
Look, I think probably that reason, Simone as a coach, and for me, learning wing defence and knowing that that's probably where my career pathway will probably take. So I will have to grow into a wing defence, and having Simone, one of the best wing defence players ever, as my coach, I think that was the best thing for my career, as well as I thought I was going home to my family and friends and things like that outside of netball, which obviously is put on hold at the moment, which is totally fine under the circumstances. But I guess that in Sydney I was very netball. So I was coming home to focus on things outside of netball, but, things change, and obviously it's not meant to be for 2020. So hopefully next year will be a bit different. But I'm loving it here.
Happy we've got a season. Happy we've got a season anyway, so it's great to have you as part of the Vixens season. Have you got a message? I mean, you are new to the senior lineup, if you like, of the Melbourne Vixens. Have you got a message for the Vixens family or the Vixens members and supporters who are down here and watching you from afar but still supporting you just as passionately?
Well, I think just super grateful to have you guys behind us, and we do read through the comments and everything like that on social media. We think about you guys back at home, and we hope that you guys are all safe and everything like that. And for me personally, I'm just super grateful that you guys have welcomed me in open arms. I've absolutely loved being part of the Vixens family, and I'm super excited for the rest of the season. So keep cheering hard at home. We can hear you all the way up here in Brisbane on the court, and hope you guys are all safe and well.
Well, Kate, well, I've got the inside word that all the teammates are absolutely loving you at the moment, so don't worry about that. Whilst a happy team is a good team and they're enjoying having you back in Vixens colours. So welcome back and continue on with your fantastic season so far.
No, thank you. I'm glad that they love me as much as I love them.
Oh, to love it. That's what we like at the Hub. Thanks for joining us, Kate. Great to have you here. Always great to have you inside. Kate Eddy joining us here on Vixens Live. Really good character, and I think that's what has become of the Vixens. And you saw that too, Tash. Like, you've got lifelong friends that you played netball with. You've still got them now. You'll have them forever. That's what it's about, isn't it? You can see the smile on her face. That's a genuine smile of a team that gets along.
Yeah, definitely. Such a happy, gorgeous girl. And I think that's one of the things that really shines out of this Vixens team is it looks like they're really enjoying themselves and have built those beautiful friendships. And like you said, lifelong friendships that we still have carrying on today. So yeah, it's really nice to see. And she's had such a good season so far. And yeah, she's doing really well in that wing defence position.
Just seems really coachable as well, which is fantastic. Fits in with the transitions that the Vixens are going through at the moment. Let's take a look at the next couple of games, because more importantly than the games already played are the games that are coming up, and we are already in the second half of the season. We're taking on the West Coast Fever again, Saturday, 1 o'clock, and Nissan Arena. You can catch it live on Channel 9. Vixens beat the Fever in round 5 by 9 goals. Katie Dehaney actually started on the court. In fact, did it against the Swiss and the Giants. Can you see KD starting again? Janelle Fowler obviously has huge presence for West Coast Fever. And it's great to see that it doesn't matter who gets what role, every combination seems to be working at the moment. What do you see happening for the big clash on Saturday, Tash?
Yeah, well, firstly, I see a win happening. No, sorry. Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see. I don't know what Simone will start with. I think she may start with Emily just for that experience. Janelle is such a big, strong, dominant body in that circle. I think she may start with Emily, but I mean, we don't really know that. I guess whatever way she does start, the comforting fact is she's got plenty of options down there that she can mix it around. I think it's going to be a really tough game. They've started to, I think they're actually starting to find their straps as a team and starting to combine a little bit better. So I think it is going to be a very hard, tough, physical game, but I definitely think the Vixens will come over them.
Is it weird playing on someone that you play for your country with, like KD playing on Janelle, playing the Jamaicans coming together? When you ran around with players that you'd played with wearing the green and gold, was that a bizarre feeling, or was it just another game and once the whistle goes, you're as competitive as anyone?
Yeah, I think that's it. Once the whistle goes, everybody has white line fever, and that's what takes you to the top and to playing to your country. So I don't think it will be too difficult for her to turn that around. I mean, you look at it, the Australian girls play against each other every day as well. So I don't think that factor will come into it too much. But she might just know Janelle a little bit better than some of the other girls, you know, having that experience and playing with her so far in the past.
It's going to be a big game Saturday, 1 o'clock. You can catch it live on Channel 9. It's the Vixens taking on the West Coast Fever. Then the team takes on the Swifts. Again, this is to kick off round 11 Tuesday night at 5 o'clock. And this year is full of different scenarios, as we know, Tash. And just to get the season up and away is always fantastic. Having beaten the Swifts last weekend, we now look to next Tuesday and hopefully do it all again. I mean, they are the reigning champs and they will be one of the teams to beat. Nothing better than coming up against them again. They would have learned something too against the Vixens.
Yeah, definitely. I think you learn everything. You learn a lot from a game. You learn a lot from a win, but you definitely learn a lot from a loss. So they'll be going back and looking at that game and seeing where they actually fell short. I think the Vixens having that win, you know, they hadn't beaten the Swifts for about 2 years. I think it was 2018 was the last time that they actually had a win against the Swifts. I think the confidence of winning that game and winning such a tight game will really leave them in good stead. They know they can do it, and there'll be things that they weren't happy about. Even though they got the win, there were things that they wouldn't be happy about. So they'll be working on those in this next game against them. So I just think it's going to be another really tight battle out there, and it's just so exciting to watch. It's so exciting to have so much condensed netball, especially when we're in quarantine sitting at home. It's just, yeah, fantastic that we've got such good netball to watch.
Tell you what, it's also good to just having the Netball Live app and being able to watch it on your phone. So it doesn't matter where you are and what you're doing. Anywhere in the house, you can just watch it. I was out in the backyard on Saturday. First good day we've had in 4 months. I thought, well, I can't stay inside and watch it. I have to watch it out the back. But you can do it. Those big games are all coming. So Tuesday night is on the Telstra TV or the Netball Live app. And, of course, Saturday is on Channel 9 live on Channel 9 as well. It's time to get to know some of our Vixens a little bit better. And, of course, we'd love to have a little bit of insight of our fearless leader, or one of our fearless leaders, in Kate Maloney. She had Natasha Chocolate's poster on her wall growing up, and she's grown up to be the captain of the Melbourne Vixens and co-captain this year as well. Let's take a look.
I've never watched it. Do I have a hidden talent? Yeah, I'm very loud. That's quite hidden, isn't it? I attended school at Catholic Ladies College. One of my favourite netball memories is just playing netball on a Saturday morning as a junior at my local netball courts. I love walking past the courts now and seeing the girls all playing and having fun. I don't have any pre-game rituals as such, but if we win and I play well, I'll try and copy it the week after. It doesn't always work, but it's not so much a ritual, just sort of, yeah, try and do the same thing.
To celebrate our win on Tuesday night, we're giving everyone 15% off the entire Puma range. If you remember, you get an additional 10% off. The offer ends at midnight tonight. Members, make sure you're logged into your account to get the extra discounts. Speaking of memberships, get behind us and become a Vixens member. Beyond the Court memberships are just $55. Receive exclusive member benefits, including supporter pack, member-only content, and 10% off our Vixens merchandise. Huge thank you to all of our wonderful members. Great to have you on board. Members are the lifeblood of any club. Doesn't matter if it's a local club or as big a strong club as the Melbourne Vixens. And even though we can't go to the games, a huge shout out to all of our wonderful members. Over 1,700 members have pledged their 2020 membership. It's absolutely sensational. Now, Tash, you heard before from Kate just how they're listening and reading all the messages from our wonderful members and supporters, and you would have had plenty of support when you played as well. Every week in this section, we like to take a look at some of the messages that are written using the hashtag Vixens for Life and Vixens at Home. Let's take a look at some of those Vixens members' messages right here. From Rosemary Banbury, great win today. Love the determination in a hard-fought game. Nice game, Joe. From Ann Gibson, great win. Keep up the good work, Vixens. I wish you could be there, but we're with you in spirit. I agree with that. Tina Marie says, well done, girls. Tough that one out to the Vixens. And Neats Lettuce, who always loves leaving a few messages. Vixens play great netball. Defence across the court is awesome. Fantastic to have all of those messages. Make sure you are using the hashtags Vixens for Life and Vixens at Home, and support Melbourne Vixens on all of the socials, be it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Get on board the Melbourne Vixens and have them in your social media mix as well. The 2020 membership, as I said, over 1,700 members already pledged their membership back to the club. Tash, what does it mean to you when you ran out as in Melbourne Arena or wherever it happened to be, State Netball Hockey Centre, knowing the support that you have? What does that mean for a player?
Oh, it's just fantastic. The support that you get, the running out to the crowd, and you play for them. So it's just amazing to have that support when you're out there playing, hear the crowd going through the highs and lows and cheering and everything for you. So it's just amazing. And to have so many memberships that the Vixens have got now, that's fantastic to see that it's grown so much in the last few years. It's amazing.
Especially in a year like 2020 with so much uncertainty, to have that loyal support, and you've got a bit of loyal support right behind you, which is great as well. Little Shalisa's coming in to say good day. It's always good. Yeah. It's a family show. That's why it's great to have you, Tash. Whilst you're doing that, I want you to have a think, because we have a competition that we run on Vixens Live. We change that competition every week. Last week, it was about the intercepts. This week, it's about the Vixens halftime score. In the round 10 match this Saturday against the Fever, what will be the Vixens halftime score? you can win a sensational hamper with thanks to Hampers with Bite. Tash, what's your prediction? You can get onto the Facebook page or Instagram prior to Saturday's match to try and win this hamper with Bite. Big thanks to our friends from Hampers with Bite and your old friend Eloise Southby, of course, is involved there as well. Tash, halftime score for the Vixens this Saturday against the Fever.
I am going to say that they'll be up by 4 goals at halftime. So 20.
What's the score going to be? You've got to understand how these competitions work. Tash, come on. I know you're distracted.
I'm going to do the math now. So 27-31 in Vixen's favour.
Well, math is your strength. So 31 would be the answer that we're looking for there. What is our halftime score going to be against the Fever on Saturday? Remembering you can watch on Channel 9 at 1 o'clock. And if you agree with Tash, put in 31. So make sure you get onto Facebook or Instagram page prior to Saturday's match and your chance to win a fantastic Hampers with Bite hamper. That brings us to the end of another episode of Vixens Live already. Tash, thanks so much for joining us. You really have taken a big interest in the Vixens this year. It is something that never leaves you, though, isn't it? Like once you've been a player and it's in your blood and you've got that support, you've got that knowledge, it just doesn't go.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think I love going to the games, and this year in particular, I was really looking forward to taking Charlize to the games. So that obviously hasn't quite happened. Everyone's going through the ebbs and flows of what this year actually is. But it's been so great. I'm in so many different chat groups with old past players like AIS players and Phoenix players. And the one thing that is coming up is everybody is watching so much more netball and they're really enjoying the midweek netball. So I think it's something that, that's really helping us get through this tough time and being locked down. So I think everyone's really, really enjoying it this year. It's just great.
I reckon your catch-ups and birthday parties would be a fair starting 7. That would be there as well. Don't worry about that. It's been great to have you here. I would also like to thank our matchday partner, Flight Centre, putting you back in the travel game. This weekend's matches are also part of the Confident Girls round. Now, if you don't know too much about Confident Girls, let's take a look about what this round is all about.
Together with Australia's netball community, the Confident Girls Foundation has given more than 73,774 girls the support they need to overcome disadvantage. Sometimes that support is as simple as delivering netball programs in regional or rural areas or running netball competitions for women living with disabilities. We've supported the netball community through bushfires and run domestic violence awareness programs in areas that need it most. Whatever it is, the Confident Girls Foundation is committed to giving women and girls greater opportunities on and off the court. To find out more, head to our website, confidentgirlsfoundation.com.au. Netball. Sometimes it's more than a game.
Fantastic cause, Confident Girls round happening across the weekend, which is absolutely sensational. Really worthy cause. All teams getting involved and supporting it as well. You can tune into our match, as I said, 1 o'clock from Nissan Arena against West Coast Fever on Saturday, 1 o'clock on Channel 9, and then Tuesday night, 5 o'clock, use the Netball Live app or your Telstra TV and watch us hopefully defeat the Swifts again and bring home this Sergeant McInnes Cup. Tash, great to see your smiling face once again. Wonderful to have you on board the Melbourne Vixens. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I've had a wonderful time. Sorry about the child coming in. You see, I've still got a few netball moves when I elbowed her in the face. But yes, thanks so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Much for joining us, Tash. Great to have you here. We will see everyone else, all of our Vixens family, next Thursday night at 7 o'clock for another edition of Vixens Live. Until then, stay safe, stay well, and go Vixens.
When you get out on a court or on a field at an elite level, there's a lot that's thrown at you and the pressure to perform can be really high. 2020 for me and probably for lots of people has been a bit of a roller coaster. There's been some uncertainty which has really played into those troubling times. You can only control what you can control, and that's something that really helps us as a team and me individually. It makes you really agile as a person, and it makes you stronger and more resilient because you learn to tolerate so much uncertainty and continue to operate at a really high threshold. For me, switching off, whether it is just sitting down and not doing anything, whether it's sitting outside and reading, and that sort of recharge time allows me to go 110% when I want to.